Chaotic, I only feel old after your statement. I suddenly feel archaic.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel better, I'm millennial, not Gen Z.
You are millennial.
Oh,
correct.
right.
She's millennial, Gen Z.
Actually, I freak out after anything releases. I want to run away. I want to leave Mumbai. I want to go hide in some nice location, scenic place just by myself to forget about all this.
You were discovered by Amol Gupta in turn 6. You have a similar kind of story.
It's absolutely. Oh, wow.
What?
Wow.
What?
Good one. I didn't think about it like that. Taare Zameen Par is not just about me.
Yeah.
As how I've grown. I've been very passionate about the film industry. I've studied films and मैं बहुत indulgent रहा हूँ इन चीज़ों में, and I have really like full put my entire soul in it.
Hello and welcome, this is Grace and you're watching News 18 Showsha. Today I have the amazing team of Gamerlog with me. Thank you so much for joining me today. Absolute pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
So Gamerlog, first I'll say बहुत ही Gen Z वाला show है. I think I have to ask you this because these two are Gen Z. Did they teach you any lingo on the set? Did you have any chaos moment of Gen Z here?
Sorry.
Did you feel any chaotic moments of Gen Z with these two people? Did you scold them, something like that?
Chaotic, I only feel old after your statement. I suddenly feel archaic.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel better, I'm millennial, not Gen Z.
You are millennial.
Oh,
correct.
right.
She's millennial, Gen Z, and I have absolutely no idea what they term as my generation. But apart from old, no, I don't feel the chaos at all. As a matter of fact, it's a pleasure working with. I always love to work with people much younger than myself. The reason is that you end up learning. As you know, where I come from, there is so much for us. When I say us, the generation I come from.
Yeah.
We have so much to learn from the newer generation, and the vice versa, hopefully. But from the newer generation, particularly because I think they are so well exposed to the world, and so many new things which are happening. Some which are ridiculous and some which are fantastic. So keep the ridiculous out and have fun with the fantastic.
Any lingo you learned? That was the question.
Sorry?
Any lingos you learned from them?
Lingo, you have no idea.
Even I don't know any of that.
I'm completely confused. Recently, I had a conversation with somebody with a kid who spoke in alphabets. Okay, I don't know what they are called. Anagrams? No. What are they called?
Abbreviations of some sort?
Abbreviations of some sort.
LOL and all that.
Yeah, LOL. So LOL is the last bit that I get, okay, because it's been there for too long now.
Yeah.
But there are some other words like that which I had to ask that little kid. I said, listen, exactly what do you mean? Because I'm completely at sea when it comes to what are you talking about? Because you're not making sense, because you're not saying any sentence without some abbreviations put into it. Only conjunctions in the middle, and then there are all abbreviations. So I'm like, okay, this beats me totally. So seriously bad at learning any new language from these guys.
But sir has a very I might add, but Sir doesn't actually speak his age. He talks very much like us.
Oh.
I mean, the way, whatever his words and whenever it didn't ever, we never
adapts
felt any
basically.
generation, this thing.
Generational gap.
He's just being
Genuinely.
too kind.
I'm not, sir, come on. We've had you know what time we had.
Yeah.
So,
that is,
I
that
mean,
is-
genuinely speaking.
I think age is here.
Yeah.
More than anywhere else. So
True.
I don't believe that I've aged at all since the time I was in college.
Yeah.
So that's great. But having said that, there are many things that the newer generation has brought to the table, which I absolutely don't belong to that table. I'm like completely not there. So that I don't know.
Did you see the response of Gamerlog? Because I was just before coming here, I saw the Twitter reviews, and there are so many good reviews about both of your performances.
Oh, really?
Did you see any reviews? What is your reaction to that?
Please go for it.
I'm not on X or Twitter.
Okay.
So
But there were so many tweets of both
Sir,
of
Twitter is
you.
called
Twitter
X
is
now,
now
no?
changed.
It's purchased
Yeah.
by Elon Musk. So
Okay,
it's
got it,
called
sorry.
X.
Yeah.
So did you see any reviews?
I
How's-
haven't. That's what I'm not on.
But do you know about the
plat-
response the show has been getting?
See, I'll tell you one thing. I freak out after anything releases. I want to run away. I want to leave Mumbai. I want to go hide in some nice location, scenic place just by myself to forget about all this, because the anxiety I can't take. what are people like that moment when people are seeing? It's like, you know, your paper's getting checked and you're looking, कि यार क्या right है कि wrong है. That, but this is 100 times more exaggerated for me.
True.
So I prefer not googling myself or my work or anything, specifically in this time. Then there is a time where you've made your peace with it, you're relaxed, and that's when I look into it. But I think you telling us is the first time I think we've heard of anything.
There are lots
That's
of
for
reviews.
sure.
Lots
Really,
of
that's so
But
kind. And
I think I'm like the opposite of him. I like to Google everything and see everything.
so why don't you know that?
I did Google it a few days ago and I didn't see.
You're supposed to tell us.
It's very relieved. You need to give it few
Immediately
days.
after I was like,
Yeah.
I didn't find anything. Then.
Sir, you heard, sir? It released few days ago.
Yeah,
How will you know?
Now I know that you have to wait a few days.
Yeah. I'm the same problem with me. It's funny that they have this, Darsheel has this thing that he doesn't check.
Yeah.
I've never checked in my life.
Oh.
You know, because for me it is, the concept is very simple. Have I done the best? Yeah. After I've done the best, then I don't care whether, you know, I do care, but I don't care for myself. To keep going into it and saying कि इसने क्या बोला, उसने क्या बोला, ये क्या हो रहा है, कितना है, ऊपर है, नीचे है. It's you know, our honest work has gone out there. Now some will say bad, some will say good, fantastic. Good too.
Darsheel, your character Raghav in the show.
Raghu.
So he comes from a very small town background and he has big dreams. He comes to Mumbai. You know, how much of Darsheel did you bring in the character? Because even you were discovered by Amol Gupta in turn 6. You have a similar kind of story.
It's absolutely. Oh, wow.
What?
Wow.
What?
Good one. I didn't think about it like that. So when I was in Shamak Davar,
Right.
I didn't know I was auditioning for a film or I was being like eyed upon as a painting about it. I was just being by myself. I was 9-8 years old. And Amol sir had come very much like how Joanna comes and saying I'm looking for...
Oh.
It's a great observation.
I didn't remember this.
I definitely couldn't draw the line because मेरे को समझ नहीं आया. I was like, okay, it's feeling familiar, but it didn't strike immediately.
Oh, that's great.
So Amol sir had come to Shamak, where I was dancing with his team of people, and they were looking for kids, scouting, वगैरह जो भी होता है. And then we struck a chord of friendship, and he used to call me Ustad for some reason. I used to call him Frog. He wanted me to call him Frog. So कुछ तो हमारा कुछ chemistry था, bizarre chemistry we had. But anyway, that's a cool connection. And yeah, so that makes it even more personal
More
for me
special,
now,
yeah.
more special for me. It already is, because I keep saying this again and again, and it always feels like someone has been spying on my life, and someone has finally decided कि अभी चलो अभी लिखने का time आ गया पहला chapter. So then they've come up with Raghu, because I'm very much like him, you know. जो मन में आता है बोल देता हूँ सोचे समझे बगैर. You know, gaming, attention के deficit disorder, full on, like everything, exactly this guy. Just that he reminds me of my younger days. He reminds me of those times where I was so new and so like there was that like now I'm a part of the journey. Like now I feel like I'm in the train and I'm अभी आगे बढ़ रहे हैं. वहाँ पे जब शुरुआत करने with that anxiety that you have, that's what Raghu is, you know, manifestation of. That's what I feel. And मैं जब देखता हूँ, I look at him with his passion and his belief that he has. Gamers overall थोड़ा सा distance feel करते हैं दुनिया से, because they're on their headphones and the monitor. They're more in love with the monitors and stuff. So how he has his inner dialogue. Okay. And Gamerlog, I mean, you all have seen it in the trailer. There are two characters. He's not only Raghu, but he's also Maverick. Where he becomes his prime version inside the screen when he's playing the video game. And that's somewhere he has a relation where they are able to talk to each other. So that entire within his own world thing, because as actors and as Darsheel also, I've always had these things where I tend to interact with non-living things and I do all these weird creepy things. ये सारी चीजें डाल दी इन्होंने कुछ करके, तो I felt that it was somewhere a part of God's plan that this show happens and I'm a part of it, and maybe there's a message for me on a personal scale and for all of us on a wider scale, that we should never stop believing in ourselves. True. And we should always keep trying, no matter कौन से U-turn या कौन से curveballs आ रहे हैं, keep trying and eventually the result will come out. So when I felt motivated just reading the story as Darsheel, I thought that playing Raghu might end up motivating a lot more people, and I think it'll be a blast doing this because
Yeah.
the energy and the vibe of this entire project has been so fresh until today. Like I don't remember for even one single day or one single second I felt a tiny hesitation ke, should I invest in this with my energy or no. I've not even felt once, like be it giving a cue for some other scene or anything. I've just organically, like some magnet is there, you know, okay, I've just been there and I've just wanted to be a part. And trust me, ये तो मैं अपने आप का बोल रहा हूँ, but I feel all of us have felt that energy in some way or the other in our own perspective.
Yeah.
तो मेरे लिए तो ये मतलब it's more than personal. I look at it and I see everybody as an extension of their life characters. Anjali playing Joanna or the boys, and even I feel Abhinay sir and Arya sir also to a lot of extent. Raghu's character, I keep teasing Arya sir. Today he's not come because of his nakhras. No, he's unwell.
Not well, yeah.
But a lot of Raghu is within him as well. And that's why I was like, Achha, that's why you make fun of me because you are Raghu. And I keep saying that Abhinay sir is Maverick because he used to direct the Maverick scenes and I used to pick a lot from his swagger, how he talks, his tonality of talking and his bass. So I used to always pick that, you know, it used to help me as an actor. So I think it's more than just the actors. It's everybody's communal saath ka effort, and then we've made Gamerlog by the log who love games, and I don't know.
Anjali, Yuan is a very strong-headed woman. She's someone any woman should aspire to be, right? And in the industry, it's often said that there are not enough strong female characters written for women, according to what you did. What is your opinion on that?
I feel like, yeah, there is a little bit of a changing tide because there are more and more strong female characters being introduced, but not just strong to show that, oh, she's a strong woman, but characters that are truly layered and have some depth to them, which is really exciting, honestly, because I've always wanted to be able to play a character like that, who's, you know, strong and confident and sure of herself, but is still vulnerable and, you know, innocent and naive in certain ways. So, yeah, I really love that about her.
Abhinay, your nephew Arya has directed the entire show, and it's his debut. Since coming from the family, did you create any kind of pressure on him? What was your entire role in this show?
It's a question you should ask him. But whether I was...
I was about to ask him only, but since he's not here.
I know. So I'm going to obviously answer, obviously no pressure at all. I never put it.
He himself only is under so much pressure.
Correct.
Ah, okay.
I don't
himself
even,
would do like this,
have to make any effort.
Yeah.
The reason is because he is very hard on himself. He loves to criticize himself and keep wanting to do better and better and better and say, oh shit, I could have done a little better. So he is a person like that, and I'm the, while I actually love excellence in any field, whatever I try to do, I try to just make sure that in my own way, I meet my expectations and go beyond, right? So that's my way of looking at things. So while that's all the learning that I've given my children also, that, and when I say children, my son and my nephew both, that as much, and I would like to extend it to, you know, all the youth today, that is, only thing that is there in your hand is to just strive for excellence. You know, a lot of youth that I've spoken to today, many people who are, when I talk to them, I realize that they're running behind, you know, quick gratification, money, sometimes something. You know, and I always get a little bothered because I always feel that if you chase the right dream, you will get the right result. Which is the right dream to chase is chase excellence. Whatever you do, acting, chemical engineering, whatever you're doing. Even if you're, you know, just playing a stupid game of, you know, langdi on the street, just do it to be as good as you can in that. Not to win or lose, to be the best. You know, that I want to put my best in. So that's the only, if you call that pressure, then it is pressure. But at the end of the day, that's the only thing that I told Arya, that every day I have a litmus test to myself, for myself, which is every night before I go to sleep, I'm standing in front of the mirror in the bathroom, that's where you're most alone in
Yeah.
life. And you look at yourself and says, did you do your best today? It's a question that you need to ask. Look at yourself in the eye and give yourself the right answer. The day that you can sleep sound, you know that you've done your best. If you've not done your best, then there's no reason why you need to sleep sound. Then you better be awake, because then the next day you need to go out and repair what you didn't do last. So this is my way of looking at life, that you do your best, everything else just leave it out there, because it's not in your hands.
Talking about pressure, I'll just deviate a bit here. Your first film, Delhi Belly, it's still a classic cult these days, like even today.
Yeah.
Do you feel the pressure of your other films being compared to your debut film?
No, see, again, I don't take the pressure. There are people who do compare it, and actually it's like comparing oranges and apples. You can't, you shouldn't, ideally. And also, the other thing is this, that for good or for bad, in the year that Delhi Belly released, I had the experience, and very rarely do people actually get to learn the two ends, of the spectrum, which is the biggest hit, calling it cult classic, and the biggest flop, happened in the span of 3 months for me. Because my two films, my first and my second film, both ended up releasing. The second film that I shot released as first, and the first film that I shot released second.
Okay.
The first film was a super flop, and my second film that released, which was Delhi Belly, was a super duper hit.
Yeah.
Now I got the learning of what to do and what not to do in the span of 3 months. It was like a leveler for me. It's like you slap a person and put them into the ground, and then take that same person in 3 months and go put them on top of the ceiling. Now the best part is, out of this, there's nothing but to learn. And the learning that I got is to never get pressured by what people are comparing you with, or who they're comparing, or which film of yours is being compared. Just don't do that. Just do your job. You're meant to do something. Do your best, and leave the comparisons to the rest of the world. Even if they do compare, you don't have to listen to that noise. That's white noise. Leave it.
Makes sense. Darsheel, since I have you here.
Crazy, sir. What you said is gonna stay.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Powerful words. That's true.
Thank you.
I'm
Since I have-
zoned out completely. What you said was.
Okay, so back to reality here. Since
Sorry.
I have you, Sitaare Zameen Par is coming.
Yeah.
Do you feel bad that you're not a part of the project? Did Aamir Khan, approach you for a cameo?
See, I personally feel that as you have to go beyond certain emotions. If I don't know how to frame this, but as for what good and bad actually means, it depends on how personally you're taking what. Now, I've always thought that as a film, Taare Zameen Par is not just about me.
Yeah.
As how I've grown. I've been very passionate about the film industry. I've studied films, and मैं बहुत indulgent रहा हूँ इन चीज़ों में, and I have really put my entire soul in it. So I believe, as where I've reached today, that this is not just about me. This is about an emotion. It's a story. It's something that we can watch together. We can relive our memories, and we can just learn to be more loving individuals. It's basically, at the end of the day, it's more about that. That is what Taare Zameen Par is. मैं Zaria हूँ. My character is a Zaria. My father's character, my mother's character, my brother's character, and Nikum's character. They are all mediums. That's what I believe. Most of us even think like that. So it was never just mine. वो एक possessiveness होती है ना, when you think यार I'm feeling bad, like how you asked. It's a natural emotion. Yes, I would tell you that there would be one day, for one moment, I would have thought that it would be cool if I was a part of this. But then you look at the bigger picture. Okay, as an audience, you're trying to deliver the best product in the most natural, organic, authentic way possible. And if it doesn't fit in, it doesn't fit in. And that's what I feel as a creative person, Aamir or anybody, they must have taken those decisions into what the film that they are ending up making. Because at the end of the day, the audience matters first.
Yeah.
If they are going to have fun, and if the legends that they are, they know, they are experienced enough to take those decisions. Unko bhi pata hai. So I am fully with them in that. I am looking at excitement. Yeah. I want to watch the film. What are they cooking? Honestly, and I feel lucky, in fact, that I have been a part of that legacy. I have been a part of those beautiful years where everybody, we've just connected to that one film. Families got together, And we're hoping this happens again in the next one, I guess.
Yeah.
So
After Taare Zameen Par, you were one of the most popular child stars. Even after Bum Bum Bole, it was said that you were the most highest paid child actor back then. So my question is, what happened? Do you think that Bollywood didn't back you more?
see, ma'am, I, as somebody who's never known anything about acting, like my parents, we're not from an acting background. My dad has some experience here and there, but for me, I don't know about how acting works and how the film industry works. So everything was new for me. Like this highest paid thing and everything. I have in fact gone to my parents with the article saying, how much papa am I getting paid? Because I don't know about these things. And I was kept away from that for the longest time because I was told to focus on my art. And that's what got me more in touch with it. That's what made me really fall in love with it.
Yeah.
So there is a certain thing that I learned as I grew, that you need to understand when to block out certain information in your life. People will talk about everything. They will talk about you're this, you're that, you're this. You can't go and shut everybody's mouth. This is all information, this is all news. It's being done for certain reasons and everything like that. So for me to go into that labyrinth of, okay, this news has been planted, this news has been put, and like you said, Bollywood has not backed me. I would never in any alternate reality ever think about it like this, because who am I to them for them to back me? I'm not there like वो हमारे में कहते हैं सगा भाई नहीं हूँ मैं उनका कि मुझे back करेंगे. I have to be that talented. I have to have that strength. I have to have that in me to be backed. And for that, I've worked hard. Like today, if you'll see Abhinay sir, Neeta ma'am, they're all people who've worked in this industry since the last 25-30 years. And today they saw that in me. And that's how I look at it as Gamerlog.
Yeah.
So having these questions, I'm not a fan of.
Yeah.
Because I feel that does two things. It takes your mind off your work. And second thing, it just emotionally hurts you. Because then you don't share it with people and then you start going in some spiral. So I'm thankful to my family and friends कि उन्होंने मुझे इतना grounded रखा and they kept that information which I didn't require away from me. So yeah.
Anjali, class gave you critical acclaim. Do you think that show really changed your career graph in a way?
Yes, definitely. I feel like that show in itself was pretty groundbreaking, especially for Indian cinema, just the content, the way it was made, the choice of the cast that was made, and how big it became. It was almost like a phenomenon when it came out. So yes, I would definitely say it was life-changing, career-changing for me and for the rest of the cast of the show. I had a lot to take away from it. I could go on and on, but we'll get back to it.
For one, just to add to this, I remembered her for the show from class. So actually it is directly affected her career, because otherwise I wouldn't have known.
Right.
So, and I'm telling you, I didn't remember anything else. I didn't remember her name. I didn't remember anything. When we started the casting process of this, of Gamerlog, I was like, can you tell me who that girl was from class, who has the light eyes and ringly, No, but you had straight hair.
Straight hair.
Yeah. But I'd seen, and then they showed me the picture, and in the picture you have these hair. And I'm like, okay, so is this her hair or was that the hair? So they said, Kunal, this is the hair. I said, then this is exactly how I think she should be. So, what series, when, what appearance, what,
Never know.
what changes, everything, you never know.
I completely agree. And in fact, I had instances like this all throughout, ever since the release of Class. And it's been a huge blessing to have been a part of projects like that and Gamerlog as well. Definitely.
Okay, thank you so much for
So the
joining
whistle.
me.
Abhinay
Thank
sir.
you so much. Lovely talking to you.